Hi, I'm John from Merida, and in this video we're going to cover the 5 things that we learned from our 12 hours of downcountry adventure. If you want to know how our 12 hours of downcountry adventure went, then check the link in the description below to see what went down on the day. If you also want to see the mods that we made to our bikes to prepare them for the adventure, then also check the other link in the description. So, point number 1, over to you, Michael.
Right, so we learned a lot about what we've done right or wrong about the bike. John is going to talk about this in a little while. I'm going to talk a little bit about the event, or not event, but the ride itself. So I think what we certainly learned, to take lots of water, to lots of food with you is a very good idea, because we had long stints away from our little base. So to have extra water and extra food in your pocket is a good one, because you have to make sure that you keep the engine running. The next one is, what we really learned with the changing weather, is really nice that you can make your course up while you go along. So you can do things twice if they're good fun, or you shy away from them because they weren't that great.
What do you think of the sunshine, Tom?
Well, the forecast was excellent for today, so obviously it's raining.
Yeah, because you're not tied to a race course, it means that you can just go wherever you want. So if you really enjoy something, you can do it again. And if you absolutely hated it, you don't have to. That's not something that you get a chance to do on a normal track.
For point number 3, I think you have an opinion on that, John.
Yeah, so for me, I knew that maybe I wasn't my absolute peak of fitness. So I knew that pacing myself would be really important. That's why I made sure that I wore a heart rate monitor and also had the advantage of having a power meter crank on my bike. That meant that I could work out how much effort there was, because it's very easy to let how hard you're trying get taken away because you're excited or you're chatting or you're just full of sugar and caffeine. So point number 4 is to adapt your bike to the sort of event you're doing. We knew we were going to have a massive day out in some pretty rugged terrain, so although we were using lightweight cross-country bikes, we needed to beef them up a little bit. That meant putting on more aggressive tyres, wider handlebars, and also putting on smaller chain rings. Of course, doing all of that comes with a compromise. Your wider bars means you're less likely to fit through trees, as we found out. The bigger tyres mean that you're going to have more drag. So, like all of these things, it's about striking the right balance between what you want to do and what's going to make it easy and where you're going to compromise. So, Michael, have you got any thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I think we chose the 96s specifically for this event because one thing they bring to the game or to the table is they have capacity for 2 water bottles, really handy on long days out. I mentioned that earlier. And the other thing is they're modern cross-country or downcountry geometries which really help on the demanding descents we've done. Certainly you wouldn't expect a short travel bike like the 96, even John's version, which only has 100mm front and back, behave as well as it did on the demanding more enduro style tracks we did. So I guess we got 1 point left on this. Any further thoughts, John?
Yeah, my point 5 would be don't underestimate the size of the challenge. That was a very big day out. Pretty full on in places. So we were really lucky. The bikes are actually very capable. We made some good mods to them to make sure they could handle this stuff. But even so, and especially after the weather turned, the riding was surprisingly gnarly. And once you start to get a little bit fatigued, that's when it starts to get a little bit dangerous, because you need to be on top of your game at the best of times. So when you're actually hanging towards the end of the day and all you want is your chips with some cheese on, it can get a bit dicey. Okay, so those are the 5 things that we've learned from doing our own downcountry adventure. I hope it's inspired you guys to make your own DIY event and give it a go, because it's an awful lot of fun. On that note, Mike, would you do it again?
I think we will, so watch this space. We might have something else in store for you in the near future.
To keep up to date with any more adventures we have, make sure you subscribe using the link here, and to keep up to date with all our other mountain bike adventures and kit, check out our mountain bike playlist here. Anyway, thanks and goodbye.